the true essence is in the soup. Take a gulp of the soup. It's like taking a dive into that blue world.
However, let's skip these for now because I'll soon begin my series about a unique city located in southwest China but governed as a part of a northwestern province. That is the ending segment of the last video. The unique city previewed in that clip is Hangzhou of Shaanxi province, but we are flying there through Hangzhou of Zhejiang province, and so that's where the series shall begin. As the Chinese saying goes, 上有天堂,下有苏杭. As in, up above we got paradise, down here we got Suzhou and Hangzhou. We'll be traveling from one earthly paradise to the other, from Quzhou to Hangzhou. Our final destination is actually the city of Hangzhou in Shaanxi province, but we're flying there through Hangzhou's Xiaoshan airport. Our flight from Xiaoshan airport is actually very early tomorrow morning, so we are going to spend the night in Hangzhou, and in that case, why not spend the day there too? So see y'all in Hangzhou. We are in Hangzhou. It's not my first time in the city, but it is my first video in the city and my first video on Jiande Cuisine. What the thing is, what's coming up next isn't your typical Zhejiang or Zhejiang cuisine, which is generally characterized by mild flavors. Of course, this is a gross oversimplification, and there are some exceptions. For example, the moldy and stinky styles of Shaoxing cuisine, which we enjoy tremendously. Another example is the spicy aspect of Jiande Cuisine. Jiande is a county-level city administered by the prefecture-level city of Hangzhou. I've heard that the Jiande folks developed a penchant for spicy foods because of influence from the neighboring city of Quzhou, and the Quzhou folks developed a penchant for spicy foods because of influence from the neighboring province of Jiangxi about 2 centuries ago. I've never had Jiande foods before, and I ought to adjust my taste buds for the upcoming week of spicy foods in Hangzhou anyway. So that's why we are going to visit a Jiande restaurant. 2 birds with 1 stone. Jiande's proximity to Qiandao Lake means that aquatic products are common, especially fish.
农夫山泉炖的鱼头 fish head cooked with 农夫 spring water. The brand 农夫山泉 or 农夫 spring is one of the biggest bottled water producers in China, and one of their main water sources is the nearby Qiandao Lake, on the southeastern shore of which stands the city of Jiande. Being a lake with such marvelous water, Qiandao also has very rich fish resources, of which one of the most famous species would be the Hangzhou fathead fish. This would be called bighead carp in English. Why? Because they've got big fat heads, which are prized for their large chunks of tender meat covered in gelatin. But the true essence is in the soup. Since this pot was cooked with the very same pristine blue water in which the fish swam, so just take a gulp of the soup. It's like taking a dive into that blue world and swimming with the fishes, not in a Vita sort of way.
If you know the scene I'm talking about, hit that like.
This is the type of food that people think of when you mention Zhejiang cuisine. Now, I want to do something less typically Zhejiang. Sichuan 人都嫌辣的鸭掌 Duck's feet, too spicy even for Sichuan folks. Now let's just assume that it isn't a swipe at Sichuan folks, but merely an allusion to the heat. That's because Sichuan is one of those regions known for its spicy foods, which we'll be trying in the upcoming week, sort of, because Hangzhou cuisine is closely related to Sichuan cuisine. As for the spiciness in Jiande cuisine, I already said that the local folks probably picked up this attention to spicy food from the neighboring city of picked up this preference from Jiangxi. Quzhou, at least the contemporary cuisine of Quzhou, is famous for santou yizhang, as in 3 heads, 1 foot, namely the fish head, rabbit head, duck's head, and duck's feet. Now, I don't know if these duck's feet are related to those duck's feet, and I don't know if these duck's feet are too spicy for Sichuan folks, but they are edging close to my threshold.
There are constant debates about which Chinese province is the spiciest. I haven't visited all the popular candidates, one of which would be the aforesaid Jiangxi, but Sichuan won't be at the top of my list because Sichuan cuisine is mainly distinguished for its use of Sichuan pepper, which imparts numbness that actually allays the burn. No Sichuan pepper to help us out here, but we have something sort of sweet, Yenzhou gangcai ya, Yenzhou duck with meigancai pickled vegetables. Whereas those duck's feet are spicy, this duck is sweet and savory thanks to meigancai, the type of pickled veggie in the name of the dish. I read that Jiande, like neighbor Quzhou, wasn't big on spicy foods until around 200 years ago. This sweet savory duck is a more accurate reflection of the area's historical taste preference. One common method for preparing the dish involves braising the duck first, then stir-frying the meigancai with things like cured ham, and in the final step, steaming everything with the duck. The sweetness of the dish predominantly comes from meigancai. I've talked about this pickled veggie in previous videos. I'll link one of those below. Fellow Zhejiang city Shaoxing is regarded as one of the cradles of meigancai, which is why meigancai is found throughout the region. Shaoxing is not only known for meigancai, but also a bevy of other delicacies. Well, many would consider this upcoming delicacy more like a monstrosity.
In the subway, I was talking about some of the more bold flavored outliers in Jiande Cuisine, such as stinky dishes of Shaoxing. Well, what do you know? They got stinky tofu here. What it is is explicitly Shaoxing stinky tofu, but Shaoxing is a cradle, if not the cradle of Zhejiang stinky tofu, and it stinks in a good way.
People like to compare stinky tofu to blue cheese, but one difference is that the latter, being dairy, tends to have a thicker, oilier aftertaste. Besides, stinky tofu comes in varying styles of stink, like how blue cheese is a general category of odorous goodness. And just like blue cheese, stinky bean curd is putrid to some, but palatable to others, like me. I could ramble on about this rotten relish, but the video is running a bit lengthy, so I shall save this for another day. 再见!